How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to Trucking Them Softly. It's been a little bit since I last updated. Been a busy August, now we're into September. Things are up, down, all around, but mostly positive. I think I mentioned in the last video I uploaded that I'm enjoying doing my own dispatch, and it's a learning experience. Still have a lot more to learn, but overall, I still feel like I'm in the right, or on the right course as far as my business is concerned and how I want to operate is concerned. And some of what I've learned is that freight rates around the country, depending on which region you're at, can be either reasonable or downright trash, and it depends on the month of the week. Like, for example, when I did my westward swing a few weeks ago, I discovered that getting a good rate in the mountain and western states, pretty difficult. Did okay. Didn't blow the doors off my bank account or anything like that, but still came out slightly ahead. Not the ideal situation. I would have liked to have done a bit better, but I didn't go that way to profit. I went out that way to learn and see, okay, what is it like to operate in these states? What are the truck stops like? What are the freight rates like? What are the brokers like? What kind of loads can I look forward to seeing? All that kind of stuff. So, one of those things where it was a calculated risk, didn't quite pan out like I hoped it would, but it was still a valuable learning experience. And in the industry of trucking, when you're doing your own dispatch, learning is critical. If you're not learning, you're missing opportunities. Well, that's how I look at it anyway. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a different way to say it, I don't know. But anyway, bug was getting me. So, what else is going on? Well, when I left home last Tuesday, it was still summer. The last couple of days when I've been cruising, the last 3-4 days actually, on my way from the eastern states to now the back to the Midwest. It's been pretty interesting to get an early taste of fall, and none of it flavored with pumpkin spice, because the last couple of days, especially through Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, have been a bit on the chilly side. I'm in Iowa right now, and even though it's still early, the first half of September, still fairly early in the month, more or less. It's a lot chillier than I would have liked it to have, would normally prefer it to be for, September. But, you can't get around it. Sometimes things get chilly, sometimes things stay boiling hot. Depends on the year, depends on the season, depends on the weather. It's one of those things. But overall, no, it's pretty good. It was funny, though, because the last couple of days I was like, all right, getting early starts to get rolling and get things moving. Like, I did not plan for any kind of chilly weather, so I have no hoodies, no button-down flannels, nothing. No cold weather gear in any capacity, no chilly weather gear either. Just absolutely zero preparation for cooler weather at all. And it's funny now that it's warmer out, but now it's time to dust off the hoodies and the flannels, get those washed up, freshened up, get a selection of those stashed in the truck so that when I do work in either chilly weather or early mornings before the sun comes up and it's still, down in the low 50s, not freezing myself to death, half to death more accurately, or however you want to phrase it, but whatever. So, I'm walking around in the middle of the day in a truck stop. It's not quite for my health. It's not quite because I'm taking an extended break. It's because I'm almost out of my 70-hour clock. I've got about 44 minutes left on it when I hit this truck stop. And that was by design, in a manner of speaking, because I've been running my clock close to the ragged edge last couple of days on this load from Virginia out here to I delivered this morning in Minnesota, Mankato, Minnesota. Nice little town. No truck stop. Nice little town though. And now I'm headed down to Oklahoma on a load that's going to deliver on Thursday morning. So I've got this nice long load. Time-wise, not so much mileage-wise. The mileage overall, the revenue mileage is about 750, give or take, and which is, it's not a bad one at all. But the reason I chose it is because of the time for the delivery, and the time for the delivery is Thursday morning, 6 a.m. And what that's going to let me do is chop off last Tuesday's hours for my log, and then I'll get almost 9 hours back to run tomorrow. And by the time I shut down tomorrow, in the still decently early part of the day, I'll be almost to the receiver enough that a nice short run on Thursday morning will get me there on time, if not early. And then from there, I'll have the flexibility to get reloaded, start working my way home for the weekend. I can be home for a full weekend off, and that'll be nice. But that is one nice thing. Another thing about doing dispatches, now I can really see, all right, how can I plan things out? And now, to be fair, working with my last carrier, GP Transco, and the dispatchers that I had there were situations and there were instances where my dispatcher could literally plan out my entire week and had rate cons and information all ready to go. And all I had to do was just go right through the plan. Stop 1, get loaded, proceed to receiver, get unloaded, move to stop 2, get loaded, and then just all through the week. That did not happen very often, unfortunately, because sometimes going into one market with a good rate ended up having me stuck waiting a little bit because either the rates were not great on the market for the outbound leg, or there just were no loads would be available. But I have the unusual luxury of being able to really take my time and kind of plan ahead. And as long as I'm headed towards Chicago at a decent rate, there's really not much I can say complaint-wise about the situation, because it's been a pretty darn good week, actually. The load I picked up last Thursday that took me to Virginia, actually it was to West Virginia where I delivered, that had a really nice rate. I think it was over $3 a mile, which was really good, coming up from Alabama. And then the load that got me to where I am now, that paid a decent rate as well, really nice rate. And the load that I'm on down to Oklahoma, likewise, really good rate. So had a really nice stretch of really good paying loads. I think I'm averaging somewhere either just under or just over $3 a mile from my load picking up last Thursday to the load I'll be delivering this coming Thursday, which is really solid. So in a manner of speaking, I can be a little bit more flexible if I really choose to on the load that I'm going to try to get to take me home. I'd drive it for under to a mile if it was going to get me right home, essentially. But if I can get more, of course I'm going to go for more. Why not? But it's going to come down to what's available. Where is it? Is it on the way? Is it a huge deadhead? What kind of commodity is it? What's the time frame? All of that nonsense. That's all going to play into it, just how well this will work out. But I'm enjoying it. The the more I learn, the better I do. Because I got off to a rough start, having to learn real quick what I could and could not do, what I should and should not look for, and just, you know, talking to different brokers and seeing just how willing they were to negotiate on some things. And yeah, on a couple of those, I got myself pinched into, yeah, we're just not giving you any more than this at all. It's take it or leave it. And you're like, well, might as well take it because I'm here. It's going where I want to go. Let's just do it. So it's not always what you want to do. Sometimes bullets have to get bitten. It's just the way it is. But anyway, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully my next video will be a little more concise, to the point, and organized. And I will see you then and down the road.